Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this afternoon's New American Task Force. We apologize that we're a few minutes behind, but so glad that you're here with us today for today's exciting webinar on focus on many items, but more specifically on citizenship. If we could go to the next slide, please. Just again, want to welcome everyone. And today's agenda, we will start with some community announcements, followed by a legislative update. We'll talk about a specific program called Parole in place and provide some updates on resources to support communities in this effort. Then we'll hear from the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity and the Center for Immigration and Integration on a brand new initiative, the Utah Citizenship Initiative. We'll follow by dialogues and questionings and have some closing remarks. Next slide. We'll start the community announcements with an exciting project from a partner and friends at the Utah Historical Society. And I'm so glad to welcome to our webinar today, Monique Davila. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. And please share with us what exciting things you have going on.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you, Claudia and Bailey, for inviting me to speak to this task force. I'm happy to be here and share this with you. I'm Monique Davila. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator for the Utah Historical Society. And one of the projects that I'm working on, the main one, is called The Peoples of Utah Revisited, which seeks to widen the lens on Utah's history and tell the story of all Utahns, especially those stories that have not been told or are not widely known within our history. And there are several ways that we're involving all Utahns to get involved and share your story. These are research and writing. So if you're really interested in writing an article about your family, a history event that you're focused on, no matter if you're just a community member, you're a historian, or even any other training you have, or no training at all, you are welcome to join this research cohort we have. Stories we have already that are being written about is Japanese Americans in Utah, the Chinese railroad workers. We have Japanese American and Japanese community in Morgan County that were really once was a big community there during the 1900s at a cement plant that was there. We have some on our Bomba Marile Puerto Rican dance group in Utah. So those are just some subjects. And then other ways you can get involved is through oral history. We offer trainings every quarter. The next trainings will be in October on Zoom. We also offer in person. There's also grants. We can fund organizations who want to do an oral history project up to $3,000 to record and transcribe and research. And then we also offer interviewing. So if anyone wants to do an oral history interview and share their story, we're happy to do that. Other ways you can participate is upload any of your digital photos to our online collection. You have your phone, and I'm sure you have tons of photos. If you want to be part of this, you're welcome to share that. We have now over 1,000 photos from our communities throughout Utah on our online collection. And you could actually, if you scan the QR code, that's where they will take you. It'll take you to the online collection. We have photos, recipes, letters, flyers from organizations. We've scanned jewelry, and so much more. And yeah, so, and when I say history, we want anything. We want anything from your grandmother's old photos to your selfie from yesterday, if you want to share that. So just really anything that you'd love to share that shares your history and your story. But the best thing that's coming up, we've partnered with the Center for Economic Opportunity and Belonging and the Voices for Utah Children to host what we call a scan and share event. And This will be in conjunction with Welcome Week 2024. And on September 14th, Saturday from 2 to 5 at the Glendale Library. And this is another way for us to get community involvement. Bring your photos, bring your physical photos, your documents, again, jewelry, stickers, anything flat-based that you would love to share with us that represents you, your family, your history, your story. Again, I highly suggest you look at our online collection, which is that QR code, and you can see the incredible array of history that we have gathered already from our communities. And this is your chance. You're all invited, and please invite everyone else. I know we have some flyers. Think in the process. I think they're done. I don't know if Bailey or Thais can share them with you all. But yes, so that is how you can get involved. If you want to learn more, please visit the website on the bottom, People's Vita Revisited, and reach out to me. I said a lot. Hopefully you got some of what I said. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Monique, for sharing that exciting project with us. I encourage everyone to participate. As Monique has indicated, Voices for Utah Children and the Center for Economic Opportunity is hosting an event. We'll put it on the chat and encourage all of you to participate. We'll go on to the next slide and share some additional community announcements. Wonderful. Well, September is just a very exciting month. We have lots of things happening. September is Hispanic Heritage Month as well. That day is, I'm trying to make sure that I get it right. September 15th to October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month. And there's lots of things going on in the community, including this Fiesta Latina event at the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium. So if you're interested in participating in that event, you have the QR code there. Please scan and take you and your family to go and participate. Next slide. September is also welcoming week. This is actually is an international celebration now of community coming together to welcome and celebrate new Americans in the community. It is September 13th to the 22nd. There are a lot of fantastic things happening in the community. Encourage all of you to participate in Welcoming Week. Salt Lake County's Mayor's Office for New Americans is coordinating a lot of events. Scan the QR code and you can find all the events that is happening throughout the valley and elsewhere as well. The event about scanning and the partnership with the Utah Historic Society is part of Welcoming Week. So please try to find 1 or 2 or 3 events to attend during this week-long celebration. Next slide. There is also an annual free citizenship clinic by friends in the community called Becca State. And here's some information. It's going to be this year's event is scheduled on Saturday, September 7th from 10 to 3 p.m. In Salt Lake City. And this is an opportunity for you to get some legal advice in terms of supporting your families in becoming a naturalized citizen. Please take advantage of this tremendous resource in our community. And if you know of someone who could use the resources, please share this and be able to participate in it. Next slide. There is also a Citizenship Day. This month is going to be an information session on Friday, September 20th from 6 to 7 p.m. You can come to this to learn about citizenship eligibilities. There is a citizenship application day on September 21st from 9 to 2, and you'll be able to receive information on more information about how to become a naturalized citizen. So lots of resources on citizenship coming up. We're just so excited about that. Next slide. This is an event by the Mill Entrepreneurship Center, everyday entrepreneurship program for new Americans and refugees. This is happening on September 10th to November 12th. Again, scan the QR code and learn more about this opportunity to help new Americans, refugees, and immigrants who are interested in becoming an entrepreneur. Next slide. So those are some of the community events that we really want to highlight. There's a lot going on in the community, and it's important for us to just know about all of the resources there. We hope that you could share this with the individuals and families that you work with throughout the community. The next on the agenda is legislative update. There is we all know that the legislature meets in the spring of every year, but that is not the only time the legislature works. They meet off season and are talking about very important topics throughout the year through interim committees and other study sessions. Really today, we want to provide you with some of the discussions that's happening in the Capitol Hill, just so that you have a sense of what it's talking about, and especially issues that are related to new Americans in the state. So we'll start with the Education Interim Committee. This is a committee that meets once a month in the state legislature. And it's interesting that English language learners has been a discussion for this particular committee, both the August and September session. They pay a lot of attention on English learners in the school systems. They had superintendents and principals from various school districts talking about the challenges of English learners, but also about the benefits of having English learners in the school systems. Although it's a challenge, it's also an opportunity for us as a community to strengthen our system to be better in welcoming English learners. Studies have shown that when you help English learners to do better in schools, they actually help other non-English learners to be successful as well. So the Voices for Utah Children, as well as the partner with the Center for Economic Opportunity and Belonging, has created a multilingual learners in Utah fact sheet. We'll put that on the chat and share it with you. Next month, we'll also be doing and digging deeper into the importance of English learners. This is an opportunity for our community to understand, but also help legislatures to also see the benefits of English learners in the community. The second committee that has been where new Americans have service is the Federalism Commission. Again, this is a commission that meets off sessions and study of various topics. Just in last month, or actually this month's session, there was a discussion about ICE and county jail collaboration. And the sheriff from Cache Valley actually came and testified about some of the concerns of and challenges of working with collaborating with ICE in the county jail systems. What was very interesting is the statement that the sheriff indicated that the Sheriff's Association is actually not supportive of building a federal detention center, immigration detention center in the state of Utah. So that's really interesting, and we'll continue to monitor those kind of discussions and update if there's an update this group if there's any developments. The organized crime subcommittee, New Americans also came up in relations to increased crimes. There is discussions about newer arrivals coming to the state of Utah and potential impact of those individuals in crimes. We're studying that very heavily as well, and helping individuals understand that the crimes might not, that criminals, the crimes that's not necessarily associated with the increase in newcomers, and that that there is also ways that we can think about how we can do preventions. So it's another committee that we're really monitoring and making sure that we are understanding the conversations that is being happening in the Hill. The last commission is commission or study is the Economic Development and Workforce committee, and in this particular work group, the Refugee Services Office from which is located in the Department of Workforce Services came and present about the work of that particular office and some of the great work they've been doing. Again, nothing is happening at this point. At this point, we're just really monitoring, but I think it's important for this task force to understand some of the discussions that is happening in a legislature. Next slide. I'm going to now turn it over to Claudia from the Center for Immigration and Integration to tell us more about the Parole in Place program.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm stepping in for Natalie Aldieri, our director, who's unable to be here today. So I'm going to be giving brief information about the Parole in Place, which was a recent announcement from President Biden on June 18th of 2024. It's a program that he announced for certain non-citizen spouses and non-citizen stepchildren of U.S. citizens. It's a program where they can request parole in place under existing statutory authority. And then on August 19th, after that announcement, that is when the Department of Homeland Security announced the instruction guide and to be able to implement this program through USCIS Form I-131F. As you can see here on the screen, we have a QR code to that filing guide. And there's also eligibility information and application details. Now, the reason we're bringing this up, not just to announce this to those who may not know about this new program, but it's also to provide you resources and also, as you'll see next, ways that you can avoid scam, because USCIS has reported that they are already seeing fraudulent activity going on with people in the community being victims of fraud when it comes to parole in place and this new program. So some of the resources we provide, and there's a lot more, but these are just some of the more common ones that we refer people to is, of course, going to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service website. So regarding this parole in place specifically, they have a page dedicated to giving out detailed information, application instruction, and free printable forms, along with their online forms that you can access as well without any charge. This doesn't, of course, include the online or the application fees, but the forms are accessible to everyone at no charge. Our office, our Utah Center for New Americans and Global Talent, we have our office where we have a list of immigration legal service providers that we can refer you to be able to get information and assistance with understanding if you're eligible for this parole in place, and assistance with filing those forms if you are eligible. Simple Citizen is a partner that we work with who actually also has a dedicated parole in place website where they are providing a free online eligibility check. So you can at least start in checking the eligibility of your case and seeing if you're eligible for this new program. And then we also have the National Partnership for New Americans, a national organization that has been hosting webinars to help both applicants and legal service providers through this new program, the application, the instructions, and other resources. Okay. And as I'd mentioned before, USCIS did report that they are seeing scams out there right now related to this parole in place, which happens with other applications and unfortunately with other immigration forms and programs. So what they advise is that you, just so you don't get scammed, is, read through USCIS's materials on this process. Ignore anybody who claims that they can help you file early because they do have their deadlines of when forms open up. But anybody who promises you that they can get you in early or guarantee you, that is one thing they said that you should watch out for. Don't trust anybody that has special connections with the government. And so do not give out personal information or send out money to any stranger claiming that they can assist you with these forms, or give you information or again, help you file early or get ahead. Know that USCIS themselves will never call you, email you, or text you or ask you for money. So if you do get a call of someone claiming, or even a text message of someone claiming to be USCIS asking for money or personal information, or even threatening with deportation if you don't comply with those requests, just know that that is not USCIS. That's a scam. Always use websites that end in .gov. And then also there's a lot of low-cost community agencies in your area that may be able to help you. As I said, we have a few on our website that we can refer you to. Website that they have to get more information about avoiding scams is uscis.gov/avoid scams. They also have one in Spanish, uscis.gov/evita estafas, for more information on what to do, how to avoid scams, but also what to do if you do end up being a victim of a scam. Now, the Federal Trade Commission actually also published some information about scams that they've been seeing as well, specifically with notarios or public notaries. They have a website dedicated just to information about scams in regards to immigration. ftc.gov/immigration is their website where you can get information again about scams and also more specifically how to report a scam to their Federal Trade Commission. Their Associate Director, Jennifer Leach, recently published Avoiding Scams That Impact Immigrants, and some of the advice that they give is to avoid scams is to know who can help you. So make sure it's an accredited organization with immigration attorneys, or a DOJ, a Department of Justice accredited representative. Don't pay for any forms. So again, USCIS provides the forms in printable and online formats for free. So anybody who's trying to charge again to access these forms is a scammer. Again, this doesn't apply to USCIS filing fees. You process those on their website. Don't sign any blank forms, and just know that nobody has special access. So again, reemphasizing that anybody who claims that they can get you ahead or get you filed early are scams. So if you do come across somebody or an organization or something that looks like it's a scammer or fraud, you can report this anonymously in your language of choice. I've got the website there for English, reportfraud.ftc.gov. They also have reportefraude.ftc.gov for those who speak Spanish. And then you can also call 877-382-4357 and press 3 to direct you to be able to report fraud in other languages. But yeah, so that's the information we wanted to present to you about Parole in Place. We give out information in our newsletter. Our monthly newsletters updates as we get them, because again, this is a new program. And so if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, it will be included in the follow-up email that you can subscribe and get those updates. So now what we'll do is we're going to turn the time over to this exciting program, the Utah Citizenship Initiative that is being led through our office, the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity, Utah Center for New Americans and Global Talent. So some of you may have noticed that our name has recently changed. So we are the Utah Center for New Americans and Global Talent now. So that's change was made to better align and organize our initiatives. But going on through to the Utah Citizenship Initiative, just some data out there. according to USCIS and their statistics, there's about just over 62,000 Utahns who are eligible to naturalize and become U.S. citizens. So for those who don't know what naturalize means, it's naturalization. That's the process of becoming a U.S. citizen here in the United States. So if you hear that term naturalization, naturalize, that's what it's referring to. So naturalization, if you didn't know, has shown to raise the earning potential of immigrants by 9 to 13% in women and 7 to 9% in men. And so we can see that there's that economic opportunity and for improving the lives of families and individuals when they naturalize. And also, the naturalization has shown to increase earnings of that generate additional local and state tax revenues. This includes sales tax, property tax, income tax, and can provide a state between the span of 10 years has been shown to increase tax revenue between $100 and $600 million. And so not only does it benefit the individual and our families that are in our communities, but it also, our community as a whole, it helps us with increasing our economic revenue. And through this over 62,000 Utahns that are eligible, one thing that stood out when we applied for this citizenship initiative, which is being funded by the USCIS grant, is that a lot of these Utahns that we see are in northern and southern Utah. So there's just over 9,000 legal permanent residents that are eligible to naturalize in Ogden, Logan, and Heber. And we also saw that there's over 12,000 legal permanent residents eligible to naturalize in Iron, Washington, and Beaver counties. Now, another thing, when the analysis that we did in the report shows that that a lot of the resources, citizenship classes, immigration attorneys, and other resources, the majority of those are concentrated in Salt Lake County. And so there's a disparity with those who are in rural counties, as you can see these numbers, where they don't have access to being able to check their eligibility, first of all, and having access to an immigration attorney or a DOJ representative, citizenship classes. And so through this initiative, that's where we will be focusing on gathering that information and providing that support to increase naturalization rates in specifically our rural areas of Utah. Now, some of the benefits of being a U.S. citizen, there's quite a few benefits, some of them being voting rights, eligibility for federal jobs, again, that opportunity to increase your income level through more opportunities, employment opportunities. You have a U.S. passport, which will assist you in easing the transit between traveling outside and re-entering into the United States. While traveling abroad, one of the benefits of being a U.S. citizen is that U.S. embassies and consular, you have the protection from those entities when you're traveling abroad. You're being a U.S. citizen, you have eligibility for more federal benefits, such as student aid. And then you also are eligible to help sponsor some of your family members who may be in other countries. We have full rights and legal protections as a U.S. citizen. Again, more employment opportunities and an increased involvement in civic life. So this initiative is a three-prong approach to this Utah Citizenship Initiative. So we will be promoting the benefits of naturalization for those who are legal permanent residents, who may not understand the benefits that they have under being a U.S. citizen. So we're going to be promoting that again throughout, not just throughout the whole state of Utah, but specifically with rural counties and communities in northern and southern Utah. Educating. So we are putting together resources so that anybody in the state of Utah can access those through our Citizenship Hub and other avenues to help educate them on resources that are available, not just here in the state of Utah, but also through USCIS and other organizations that can help them with understanding naturalization and also the naturalization application process. Connecting, again, we're looking at our rural partner. We are working with rural partners to help connect them with citizenship courses and hybrid naturalization education. Again, so that the communities that are in remote areas of northern southern Utah have access to, again, the resources that they need to understand if naturalization, and then also be able to have that assistance to apply for citizenship. So the regional partners that we're working with, as you can see on this map here, we have Cash Refugee and Immigrant Connection, CRIC, up in Logan. We have Ogden, City of Ogden, Centro Hispano in the Provo area, Moab Valley Multicultural Center in Moab, and then Southern Utah University, SUU in Cedar City. So these are the regional partners that we're working with to help promote again and educate and in those rural areas. Now we also have some technical partners. We have ESLC, the English Skills Learning Center, who is leading the citizenship preparation courses that will be provided again through hybrid and online models throughout the state of Utah to these areas. And also with our legal service providers will be Holy Cross Ministries. So they will be providing the legal assistance with checking eligibility and the application process. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are putting together resources so that anybody in the state of Utah has access to checking the eligibility, finding resources, and understanding, the benefits of U.S. citizenship, and also for those who are community leaders, so they can have access to data highlights in their areas, naturalization rates, the economic impact of increasing naturalization in their communities. We'll have a calendar of events on this website so that we can, as you saw earlier, all the announcement, all the citizenship day events that are happening, increasing that and be able to promote those events throughout the state of Utah so that more people can have access to those resources. And also we'll be directing, having direct links to USCIS's resources. They have a lot of resources to go through, and it's sometimes can be a little overwhelming because they do provide a lot. And so we'll be kind of organizing and condensing those so that, and organizing them in a way that will be accessible to individuals in our community. Okay, so the timeline. So we're looking at, so this initiative will be launching in 2025. So January through March, we're going to be offering 12-week citizenship preparation courses for the Moab and Provo areas and surrounding communities of those areas. We'll be hosting 2 in-person citizenship application clinics where we'll be helping with verifying eligibility and also have legal service provider Holy Cross Ministries coordinate that application process. And these again will be provided free of charge. We'll also have ongoing information webinars so that those so individuals who are in remote areas can also access information on an ongoing basis as they as they look through the possibility of becoming a U.S. citizen. And then we'll replicate that same timeline April through July, but this time looking at starting off the 12-week preparation course in Logan, Cedar City, and those surrounding areas. So again, kind of shifting from north to south and then kind of swapping that in a different north and south community. Again, 2 more in-person citizenship application clinics for the Logan and Cedar City areas and their surrounding communities. So what we would like where we need your input and involvement in as new American Task Force members is helping us with the community asset questionnaire that we've put together. So we have this, you scan the QR code or go to that link, and this will be included in the follow-up email. Where we need your input is helping us gather all the citizenship and naturalization preparation and assistance in our state. So we know that there's a lot of organizations that help out in the Salt Lake County area, and doing great work and providing that to our communities. But we need to know like who else is providing those services, so that we can have it collectively on our resource hub. Because somebody may not know that, in their community, there's citizenship preparation classes. This will also help us see, better understand the gaps of where we need more support in our Utah community with these preparation classes and legal service providers, assistance to help them apply for naturalization. The other area we would like to have your input in is helping us collect new American citizenship profiles. So similar to what Utah's historic organization is doing, they're collecting stories. We're specifically looking at collecting stories of those in Utah who have become naturalized citizens, new Americans, through this process here in Utah, so that they can share their stories and experiences, and also provide advice to new Americans and also organizations working with immigrants to help everybody understand how to better engage and understand the naturalization process. We know that there's a lot of stories, and amazing stories and triumphant stories of our own Utah community. And we want to highlight those and share those. So if you know somebody or you are a citizen yourself, we encourage you to share your story through this new American citizenship profile. We have the QR code there. Some sample questions that we have on there is, seeing why somebody chose to live in Utah, describing their goals that they have here as a new citizen. And then how the U.S. citizenship has affected their family, their community. And then they have an option of uploading a picture if they want, but again, that's optional. So if they just want to share their story and they're a little camera shy, that's fine. We still want to hear from them. So if you are yourself are a new citizen, we encourage you to share that. Or if you work with immigrants and who have recently become or are going to become new American citizens, we invite you to have them share this so that we can highlight their stories and collect them as we implement this initiative and in the years to come. So that is, again, an overview of the Utah Citizenship Initiative. We will share, as soon as the website is ready to be launched, we will share that with everyone in the New American Task Force and through other avenues. So I'm going to turn the time back over to Z.
Thank you so much, Claudia, and so excited to hear about the statewide citizenship program. Many of you know I had a long career with Salt Lake County, and when I was in Salt Lake County, we put together a United for Citizenship initiative similar to what is happening here, but it was more just with communities in the Wasatch Front. And I know that communities outside the Wasatch, immigrants and new Americans are growing in communities outside the Wasatch Front. And this program is tremendously important as we begin to think about statewide strategies to help new Americans everywhere. So thank you so much for sharing that the new program, and thank you so much for the leadership of the Governor's Office and the Center for Immigration and Integration for putting this together. I would love now to just engage the task force members to in conversations and dialogues about things that we talk about today, or if you have any questions about the citizenship initiative, please unmute or share on your chat. So that we can have some conversations. I'm going to pause there and give it a few minutes to see if anyone wants to chime in. You guys are a quiet group today. As when I was sharing we do have people raising their hands. Let me see who they are. Please go ahead and unmute.
Hi, Z. Hi, Claudia. This is Jessler.
Hi. Hi, Jessler. How are you?
Good, good. No, I just wanted to add to Claudia's point on USCIS. to check with lawyers and all that, that the state of Utah requires for people who is doing immigration consultants or filling out forms, they need to be registered with the Department of Commerce. So that's something the department has been trying to put out there more and more, especially to avoid scams. So I just want to put that out for the members who are here with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think that is really important. Just making sure that we are protecting our communities. One of the challenges, I think, is that, we just have to be super cautious when we're helping people fill out forms. We know there are individuals out there that are taking advantage of communities. And if you just make one little mistake, and I have helped a lot of individuals who might have just make one little mistake, and that has huge effects on their ability to become naturalized. So thank you so much for sharing that, Jessler, and bringing that up. Diana?
Hi, Z. This is Diana Lopez. I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator with the Ogden Police Department. Thank you, Claudia, for that presentation. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up that we've already started our citizenship recruitment, if that makes sense. We already did one session in the spring, and we're getting ready to open up the applications. We call it the Path to Citizenship. We're getting ready to open up those applications again this coming November, like Claudia said, for the 2025 year. So yeah, it's great work. And I'll give credit to, I don't think she's on today, Linda Lartigue. She's the one who was able to kind of come up with this concept, and we were all on board. And thankfully, we're able to work with Natalie and Claudia and Z and all your guys' group. So we're super appreciative of that.
Yeah, Diana, thank you so much for sharing. I'm wondering if you could just give us because your program is so comprehensive and has seen a lot of success of getting just communities working together collaboratively to support citizenship. Would you mind just sharing a little bit more in detail about your particular program?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot. I don't remember. I'm actually working from home, so I don't have everything in front of me. But,
no problem at all.
So ours, I believe it is a 12 to 14 weeks. Our local library system, the Weaver County Library, they actually already offered citizenship classes. And we decided to partner with them. And we just incorporated an additional 4 or 5 classes to add civic engagement into the citizenship classes. So like there was a day when they went and saw our city council and learned how city council worked. There was a day when the fire chief and the police chief came out and were able to speak to them about, how policing and the fire department are always in need of good people and why there's no need to be afraid of government. So we just incorporated the civic engagement portion. We've also collaborated with United Way, as well as my hometown to offer babysitting services if any of our participants didn't have childcare. We didn't want that to be a barrier. And the last email I got from Linda, I believe, said we have close to, I believe, 10 of the graduates from this last spring session who have completed the whole process of naturalization, and we're actually working on having our own little ceremony here in Ogden to just kind of highlight them and to invite the previous participants who are still in the works. There's just a few of them who are still in the works of finalizing all their naturalization stuff. But we're inviting everybody and just trying to do a little bit of a celebration, positive encouragement, role modeling for those who haven't quite reached that process or that point in the process. So it's been fantastic. It's been really great. They've all been so engaging. People have really just loved the opportunity, and we've loved the opportunity to get to know so many amazing people. So it's been, I think, great for the city and for the community and just in general for everybody overall. It's been a great program, and we hope to keep it going as long as we can.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just really love the comprehensiveness of your program and bringing so many partners to the table, because citizenship, naturalizing an individual is a work of a community, and just, thinking about childcare, thinking about language, so they're thinking about civic engagement. It's just a fantastic program. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, everybody.
Anyone else have any? Claudia?
So I wanted to address, Thais provided an update in the Q&A regarding the parole in place. So parole in place has been challenged by the state of Texas and other states through a lawsuit. And so currently it's the USCIS is not approving any applications, but they are still taking applications for this. Let me go ahead and see if I can. Sorry, you're raising your hand, Thais. Let me see if I can allow you to jump in so you can give more information. But yeah, so there's that update that you can still file, but just know that it's not currently going to be processed because of the lawsuit that's was filed earlier this week.
Thank you so much, Thais, for sharing that. Always keeping us posted. There is a very robust process, and there's a lot of things changing on a daily basis. So thank you so much for keeping us posted on that. I know that when we were discussing about the local legislatures and things that are happening, the Voices for Utah Children has been super engaged in this process. And I'm wondering, I know I'm putting her on the spot. Syriac, are you still there?
Hi, yes.
Will you be, I know I missed a couple of things when I was doing the updates. So wondering if you might be able to fill in some of the details on what's happening in the legislature during the interim session.
Yeah, I think you covered a lot of it. I think the only other two things that I would add is that there is a bill file open for the Refugee Services Office to codify that into code. Basically, they're just officially making it in office in the Utah law. And the other piece is similarly the Education Committee. The full interim committee has opened a bill file called English Learner Amendments, which basically also means that they may do something when it comes to our English learners, and we're not really sure how positive or how negative it'll be for our students, our English learner students. So we are keeping an eye on that alongside Z and her team. So we are just going to continue listening during interim sessions here in the next coming months. They usually end in November, and have a plan of action for the legislative session. So we will keep you all posted, and hopefully some of y'all can join us at the Capitol during the legislative session and be able to advocate for our immigrant families or immigrants throughout the state.
Thank you so much, Syriac, and all the work that you and your team has been doing up in the legislature and keeping us posted on the updates. Again, I just really want to iterate that things don't happen just on the 2 months up in the legislature in the spring. Things do happen year round, and it's important for all of us to be engaged in those conversations, dialogues, study groups, interim sessions, because issues affecting immigrant families and kids are being discussed, and we'll try to keep this group posted as much as possible. But really encourage all of you to pay attention to, especially in the fall committees, well, 3 committees and 1 commission that we share today, and continue to monitor what's happening there. Do we have anyone else who might have more questions? Or just any specific topics, trends, updates that you want to share with this group? Feel free to just raise your hand and we'll unmute you. Well, if there is no other comments, again, I just reiterate that next month, in the month of September, is an exciting month. There's a lot of things happening in the community, please join the citizenship workshops that is offered by our partners. Go to Welcoming Week. Hispanic Heritage Month is next month, so a lot of things going on there too. Continue to engage in conversations with the New American Task Force. We're always looking for ways to listen and hear on what is going on the grounds and the trends that is happening. Next month's topic webinar will be September 26th at 3 p.m. and we'll be talking about topics of back to school. Resources for English language learners is opportune time. We have some exciting speakers confirmed for that session already, including representatives from the State Board of Education as well as school districts who are doing really innovative ways to support English language learners. I hope that you can all join us for that particular webinar. And if there isn't any other questions, we'll end today's meeting a little bit early. You can see on there that mine and Natalie's information. Please feel free to reach out to us in the meantime. Thank you so much and have a good evening.